What if I told you that the world's most famous woman once walked among the dying, not to save them, but to hold their hands while they died in dignity? What if I told you that she owned no mansion, no gold, no riches, only a heart so full, it spilled love into the cracks of human suffering? This is not the story of a saint. This is the story of a woman with worn-out sandals, wrinkled hands, and a voice that cracked like old wood. But her love roared like thunder in forgotten alleyways of pain. This is the story of Mother Teresa, the woman who kissed the wounds of lepers and heard God's voice in silence. The woman who taught the world that true greatness is found in washing someone else's feet. She was born Angi's Gonxha in 1910 in Skopje, part of modern-day North Macedonia. Her name meant rosebud, but her life was anything but gentle. Her father died when she was just 8. Her mother ran a household with hardly enough to eat, but she always fed the poor. Her mother would whisper, "My child, never eat a single meal without sharing with someone who is hungry." The girl watched and learned that love doesn't have to shout. It simply shows up. At 12, the rosebud bloomed with a strange hunger, not for food, but for purpose. At 18, she left her family forever, took a train to Ireland, then to India, became a nun, took the name Teresa after the patron saint of missionaries. Her mission, to teach girls in a school in Calcutta. That was her job, but her soul whispered something deeper. On a train ride in 1946, she felt what she later called a call within a call. "I must leave the comfort of the convent and go to the slums. I must serve the poorest of the poor, not with pity, but with love." The slums didn't smell like poverty, they smelled like death. Rotting bodies, lepers with no hands, children with no names. Dogs licked human wounds. But Mother Teresa walked in, with nothing but a white sari and a whisper of faith. She begged for food, begged for medicine, not for herself, but for the forgotten. She washed wounds with her bare hands. She hugged the dying. She stared into the eyes of hopelessness and refused to look away. "Each one of them," she said, "is Jesus in disguise." People called her mad. She smiled and kept walking. In 1952, she opened her first Nirmal Hriday, a place where the dying could die like humans. She gave the unwanted a name, gave the sick a bed, gave the unloved a goodbye filled with dignity. A man who had been left in a garbage pile was brought to her, maggots in his wounds. He looked into her eyes and asked, "Why are you doing this?" She held his face and said, "Because I love you." He died smiling. That's what she did. She made the forgotten feel seen. But love doesn't come without critics. Journalists accused her of glorifying suffering. Writers said her homes lacked modern medicine. Some said her belief in God was just a performance. What they didn't know was that Mother Teresa battled her own darkness. For over 40 years, she wrote letters to priests confessing, "I feel no presence of God. I feel alone, empty." Yes, even Mother Teresa had doubts, but she never let the silence of heaven stop her service on earth. "I may not feel God," she said, "but I see him in the eyes of the dying." That was her faith. Raw, quiet, steady. The world began to take notice. In 1979, she won the Nobel Peace Prize. But she asked them to cancel the dinner banquet and give the money to the poor. When they gave her a standing ovation, she whispered, "Let us love until it hurts." Presidents knelt before her. Queens wept in her presence. She didn't change. She still woke up at 4:30 a.m., still wore her $1 sandals, still cleaned toilets. Because greatness is not loud. It is low. It serves. In the 1990s, her body grew weak. Heart surgeries, breathing machines. But she still traveled, still hugged lepers, still prayed over the forgotten. In 1997, at age 87, she passed away. No documents, no last speech, just a quiet sigh, a soft surrender. Her mission now had over 4,500 nuns in 130-plus countries, all wearing the same white sari, all whispering the same prayer. Do small things with great love. Mother Teresa is gone, but her echo remains. In every hospice, every orphanage, every quiet act of unseen kindness. She didn't change the world by being powerful. She changed the world by loving one person at a time. If you can't feed 100 people, feed just one. Her greatness wasn't in her awards. It was in her hands, weathered, wrinkled, and holy. So what can we learn from this woman in the sari? That true power is silent. That true love costs something. That we don't need millions to make a difference. We just need a little faith and a heart willing to get dirty. You don't need to be a nun. You don't need to be a saint. Just show up for one life, for one wound, for one soul that thinks the world has forgotten them. Because when you do that, you become a little like her. Not famous, but eternal.